developers are worried because there are ways now where you can take your design and almost create a website from the design.
Tell us a little bit about one of the recent web projects you've worked on.
So the last one that we've just finished is a website for a new beer brand, and where that's quite exciting, apart from researching the beer brand, is and other beers, is we're using a lot of AI to animate, because there's a lot of characters involved in the brand. So we've used AI to animate and the characters, and it's sort of just making the website come alive, a bit of movement. It's just being more creative than your standard usual type of website.
Yeah, because it's different from B2B, isn't it? A lot of those projects are more hyper-focused on the brand itself.
It is. I mean, it is an e-commerce site as well, so there's the purpose to sell to the end user.
What's one of the biggest sort of barriers you face when you're working on web projects? Is it to do with design? Is it to do with getting information?
It can be any and all of them. Content is always a struggle, but again, with AI, that makes it a lot easier, because if we have a rough idea, we can we can fill in the details and then present that back to the client and see if they agree with that, which means we can be proactive. Otherwise, you could be waiting for content from a client for a long time.
So AI has definitely helped recently with web, has it?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Designers are perhaps worried, that's going to replace them. But at the same time, developers are worried, because there are ways now where you can take your design and almost create a website from the design. Yeah. So we're just sort of seeing where it goes. At the moment, it's helping us and streamlining and is an aid, but we'll see where the future lies.
It's all about how you use it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you just got to adapt to the technology as it comes out and just make sure you're ahead of the curve and using it for the right reasons. At
what stage would you say a business needs to redevelop their website? Say they've been going for a few years. What point would you say?
That's a tricky question, because, what is redeveloping? A website needs updating quite frequently just to keep up to date with bug fixes, to make sure that they're as secure as possible. Then you've got updates that address the aesthetics of the website. A website, like fashion or anything else, goes out of date. Browsers come on, technology changes, and a website that you build, can even be like 3 years previously, starts to look out of date. So that could be another reason, or it could be that the actual business changes, so you need to redirect who the audience of the website is, and therefore the messaging and technology. So, for example, chatbots and that are pretty commonplace now, but going back 5 years, you'd probably only be the odd e-commerce store that you'd see that on. So, there's a number of reasons why you should sort of keep on top of your website.
How can your website be used to help scale a business?
So a website, in terms of growing a business, helps in largely two ways. One, either to drive traffic to your product, or if the traffic's already coming to the website, it's there to convert. So if we take the first instance, we could use SEO, which would create more search volume, driving more people to your website, so they can see your product or service and then hopefully interact. Conversely, you might be driving traffic to your site through third-party channels, for example, referrals. So in that case, it's more of a portfolio type website, where it might just get the user over the line to sign up for that service or buy the product.
Yeah. For new startup businesses, why is a website so important?
Well, you need to test your product, and one of the easiest ways is to build a website and get it out there. And that way you can either drive traffic to your website, or if you're using other channels to interact with potential clients, then again, it's a portfolio to show off your product.
So what would you say your career highlight has been?
Career highlights. Recently, we built a website for a multi-billion pound company. So turning that on was exciting, just to see the sheer volume of numbers. I forget what it was off the top of my head, but something like 600 people a minute visiting the website. So, you're just always a little bit nervous to make sure that everything's been ticked off and is client-facing ready.
But it's a good feeling though, isn't it?
Seeing
all
that's
those
great
people
feeling.
Seeing your work.
Yeah, no, it's great when they trust you to do that and build that for your company. So that was a career highlight. But sometimes, like with the latest client, like I said previously, where we're using a lot of AI, you feel like you're creating stuff that's potentially not groundbreaking, but perhaps people haven't used it or not used it in that way. So introducing new technologies is always a nice feeling.